Oh, I'm sorry. This over here is a z. It's a z. Maybe I should have used x's, but I don't feel like rewriting. Okay. Today's our discussion is about simplifying rational expressions. The past couple of days we've been doing what would be like easy level problems, and we're slowly moving towards medium and hard level problems. Medium and hard level problems are classified as medium and hard because they require you to factor in order to solve them. Right now we're just working on the basics. So let's take this fraction presented at number 1. Is there anything in there that you could reduce or cancel off? You see these things in parentheses? These things in parentheses right here, because they perfectly match, can be reduced. They can just be canceled off. And so look what you've got. You've got negative 54 over 11. Does that reduce down any further? So we're not sure if negative 54 divided by 11 is reduced down as far as it could go. So I'm going to check that in my calculator. Math. And it can't be reduced down any further. So this is simplest form. Piece of cake. All right. So problem number 2. Problem number 2 is exactly like problem number 1, except you'll notice that I changed the number. Instead of it being 11, now it's 6. But the same process occurs, right? These two are the same, so they cancel away. And then what you're left with when they reduce is just this. What's negative 54 divided by 6? You could say negative 9 over 1. That's cool. What's negative 9 divided by 1? Or you could just say negative 9. Either way, this is the answer to the problem. Hold on. So problem number 3 is similar to these other two problems that we took care of. It's just got maybe a few more variables, a few more numbers to take care of. So same thing. Check it out. The stuff in parentheses completely matches. We reduce it. Okay. And now look what we have left over after we reduce that. We got 12x over negative 4x to the third. Hold on one sec. So I'm going to do it the long way, because I saw in people's quizzes that this is what's the best way for them to understand it. And then we're just going to reduce. These two x's reduce away. What's 12 over 4? Negative 4. Yeah. Look, you could say 4 goes into itself 1 time, and 4 goes into 12 3 times. So the answer is 3 over negative 1. And what's x times x? Yeah, that's it. Final answer. Yeah, okay, so now we got to decide whether these things match or not. In other words, like the other problems, you could put parentheses around these two items. Is x plus y the same thing as y plus x? Well, it is, because there's a property in addition that says, like, it's commutative, so order doesn't matter. But if you ever want to check this out and you ever want to do this, okay? One thing that you can always do is you can rotate terms around. So I'm going to rotate this term in the top to the front. In other words, it's positive y, which is just y, plus x over y plus x. And that's the same thing. What happens when you have the same thing over the same thing? Yeah, so I'm going to put a parenthesis around this and a parenthesis around this and say that this and this reduce, and I just get 1 over 1, and that's the same thing as 1. So either one of those would have been your final answer. But this is not the same thing as the bottom, number 5. Because look, do you see how they're separated by subtraction? Remember this. Remember this. Let me do the same process that I just did on top. I'm going to take this y and I'm going to rotate it to the front. Look what you get. Negative y plus 2x over y minus 2x. Ay, not the same, right? Put this on, because these are good questions. Where did I get the plus from was the question. Where did I get this? Where did I get that from? Yeah, because the 2x over here is positive. So it got moved to the back. Okay, so you're thinking to yourself, well, they don't match at all. But watch, you can do something real sneaky. Here's what you can do. You can factor out a -1 from the top, and it changes all the signs. So I'm going to take out a -1, and then watch. What's negative y? What happens when you take a -1 out of there? It becomes just positive y. When you take -1 out of -2x, out of positive 2x, you get -2x. Do you see what I did or not really? Confusing? A lot of people don't understand that. Another way you could think of it is I just rewrote what was in the top in factored form. If you took -1 and distributed it back inside, you would get this. Oh, okay. So just stay with me on this. Just stay with me. So you can rewrite it, do it, making it look just like that. And then look what happens. Look what's in the bottom. Y minus 2x. So these two cancel and reduce. And the final answer is just -1 over 1. What's -1 divided by 1? No, -1. And so here's the rule that you have to remember. If you see two things that are exactly switched by a subtraction, they cancel out to be -1. Okay, we're going to practice this a little more. So we're going to practice the idea that we just learned. Take a look at this question number 6. What do you think it reduces down to being?
1.
Perfect. You guys got it. Excellent. Yeah. This thing just reduces down to being 1. Confused? Okay. I'll show you. It reduces down to being 1 because the top is that, right? The bottom, remember I told you that. So we get 3p plus 1, and then we have same thing over same thing. So it's just 1. So it's just 1. Okay. And this one, right? Two things that are exactly reversed by subtraction. What did we just learn? What does that cancel out to be? -1, right? Because, let's take a look at the reason why that takes place. 3p minus 1, we're going to take this, we're going to rotate it to the front. We get -3p plus, and then what do I take out? Yeah, we factor out a -1 so that it will look the same as the top, as the numerator. They reduce. You're left with just 1 over divided by -1, which is -1. It's perfect. It's perfect.